Hello and welcome to Star Trek Adventure Second Edition. This is Star Trek Tempest. It is a original series era show, which is exciting because they just put out the PDF of the campaign book for this era. That's kind of neat. And we are playing with another Constellation class ship. And we played the first half of this episode last session. We're doing the second half of this episode this time. We've had a break for a couple of reasons for a few weeks. So I am going to go in detail through what has happened to remind folks of that. So the original mission is that you were sent to a colony, or not colony, but a world that is owned by the people of Thulsa. It is a planet that they have not exploited, but that has mineral resources. In particular, an agreement between the Federation and the Thulsans to get, yes, to get a the rights to the dilithium mining on this planet because we're in original series era, so there's a lot of dilithium mines that we see in the setup. So the original plan is for the captain and a number of crew, in particular Chivilik, communications officer, travel down to the planet, meet with the representatives, hammer out the last details of this agreement. The captain was set, did some research on that. I believe, built up some ideas of how that was going to go. They went down to the planet. Meanwhile, Commander Moreno, in charge of the ship up in orbit, handling things. They are in the midst of these negotiations, in the midst of these conversations, when a giant alien sphere appears in orbit. And it releases a wave of energy that hits the planet, and it releases a wave of energy that hits the Tempest. And when it hits the Tempest, power systems go down, engineering goes down, and it scrambles life support. And it causes a whole series of problems there, forcing Commander Taven to do some emergency triage, getting people set, and so on. Moreno having to move the ship away from the sphere because whatever field is it emitting is causing problems with the Tempest. They haven't solved that problem yet. They know that they're gonna have to do something if they want to get closer to this thing. Now, what's happening on the planet at the same time is this sphere is causing massive climate change. It is terraforming the planet. It is ch changing things. It is causing weather attacks, all kinds of problems. Escarra talks with our Primarch there, Primarch Tove, who is in charge, and they make a choice. There are two places they could go. There is a preliminary setup for a Federation mining place, but then there's also a kind of they kind of described it as a bunker slash temple that is on the planet. They didn't go into much detail what it was, but they described it as being a little more reinforced. Escarra said that's where we're going, made the call there. And they began to take off in this freezing weather, drastic cold. Commander Chivilik, our Andorian, this is very much his, place. However, when they landed, when the first storm first hit, he took a shard to the eye, and he is suffering from that wound. And so they make their way through the storm. While they are traveling along, Escarra begins to pick up that there's some tensions here, that there's something going on between the various people. Uh, he learns that they've got a person called the Recorder who is with this group of four who apparently they have a tradition of recording things by memory, which seems a little odd. And it seems to be a more ceremonial, historical thing, but they've got that person there. Uh, we don't have to worry about him. He gets killed later. There is the sort of bodyguard for Primarch Tove who is behaving very strangely and seems super tense. And then there is the observant who Escarra speaks to, who kind of explains that they have on Thulsa a real history of being suspicious of technology, of being worried about it, and she is part of the order that kind of watches over technology development and transfer. Is why she's here for the dilithium mining thing, because there's some worries on planet about that. There's some factional things that go on there. In speaking to the Primarch, then as they're traveling, Escarra begins to realize that something has gone on with with the Thulsans in the past historically that like has not been talked about. And it seems like maybe this alien sphere, this is not the first time that it has appeared. It's strange that it has appeared over this planet rather than the Thulsa Prime homeworld, but there's definitely that. And it feels like that bodyguard that there is there might be have some religious fanaticism and might be looking to maybe like take people out given this sudden apocalyptic event in the sky. So kind of that's the stage down there. We cut back up to the ship. Uh, they are able to take care of the first issues with the life support, get those things set. Commander Taven is down in engineering until the chief engineer kicks her out back to Med Bay. When we get back to Med Bay, in the midst of going through some things, Taven realizes through a circumstance of events that something is sickening people, but also causing visual issues. When they go to read screens, when they go to read dosages of things, it is telling them different things. They are misreading things, and that is a problem. Taven is able to figure out that whatever this syndrome, this illness, whatever is this poisoning, uncertain, whatever it is only affecting that visual sense, that sense of being able to see things. Uh, Now, throughout this, there have been a couple of people that have had visual hallucinations of other people. Uh, and they thought it was just in their head. However, we got the implication that multiple people can see these hallucinations. So there's something else going on there that hasn't yet been like worked out how that is happening. But it all seems to tie into this syndrome, this thing that has gone on. Uh, Escarra making their way. They're still traveling along through this storm. They have to take a break and wait out the worst of it before they move on. And at a certain point in this, the recorder turns up dead. And that's sort of the note that we left on for down below on planet. The note that we left on above in orbit is Captain Moreno, and Captain Moreno ordering the ship to fire photon torpedoes at the sphere. And I think with the dun 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 dun, we do that teaser tag music there as Moreno gives the order, and Moreno, those photon torpedoes will go out and they will hit against that and there will be an explosion and there's definitely a distortion of energies like a release of energies. The weather pattern on planet changes. You'll feel a kind of a backwash of energy, but when that glare clears, the the sphere is intact. So what do you say when that happens, Moreno?
Probably curses under her breath.
Okay.
Like, all
Orders,
right.
Captain?
Keep us in orbit around, keep us at a safe distance.
Maintaining parallel position. They'll set that. Any other orders, Captain?
Call the remaining senior heads to the conference room.
Okay. Commander Tevin, I want to give you a moment to take an action, make a roll, do something before we would. I'm going to cut to Escarra and then come back to the ship. So, what do we see Tevin doing when we come to you there?
Defense trying to make people in sickbay as comfortable as possible, but without giving them any form of medication because we can't trust any of the readouts on anything. Um, do we have, I'm not sure what our NPC count is for this episode so far. Do we have on board a crew member with a visual impairment?
I think we probably have not used up our crew complement. So, if you want to make up an NPC, because I think the only we've seen Johnson and uh, I think the nurse went down. So we've only used two of the five possible NPCs so far.
Okay.
So for those of you at home listening, one of the things is that the ships have what is called like a supporting crew rating. There's I can't remember what the exact number, but basically it's the number of NPCs that can be created and appear in a mission. I mean, they can be created or they can be existing ones that return. Basically, as I think the intent is to make sure that you kind of use some over again. Yes, I think the ship's limit is five, and then you increased it so it's actually six. Thank you, Moreno.
All right. I mean, that's something I can do when I'm kind of not in focus, but
So just tell me,
yeah,
give
that
me a description. We've got somebody who's a visual impairment. Tell me what is their division. And how do we know that they have a visual impairment? Like, what do we know? What do we see on screen when you're talking to them? Are they from sciences, medical, tactical, counselor?
I think they're from sciences
Okay. Human,
and
not human?
human,
Okay.
and just trying to think. This is sort of pre Geordie LaForge style augmentation. Um, so perhaps they just have some sort of something to hide the eyes, so you can't see that the eyes aren't focusing on you when they're talking to you.
Okay.
So some kind of futuristic Star Trek like sunglasses, but minimal because they have to be comfortable and one on the face.
Absolutely. A little more bulky. We've seen some stuff with the eyes and then that Medusan episode and things. But yeah, so we've got that there. And they, Commander Taven, you called. Uh,
Have you experienced anything since the sphere appeared that you cannot sufficiently explain?
I don't quite understand the question, Commander. I mean, I've been working on trying to get the comms up to planet, but I, I I haven't experienced any unusual phenomena. I know some people are getting sick, but I'm not sick.
Many of the crew are experiencing visual hallucinations. It doesn't appear as if other senses are affected. I am wondering if you have experienced anything through your senses.
No, no, I have not. But mine operates uh, with kind of a translation of things. So I'm seeing things mechanically.
Are you able to assist in sickbay with measuring various medications?
Yes,
It is
Commander.
something that we are currently not able to do.
Certainly, I can do that. Absolutely.
Thank you.
And so I think we'll kind of see you, working with them to start getting the medications together and thinking about what the next stage is when you kind of get the call from Moreno, that senior staff, to the meeting room. Captain Escarra, you're standing there. You will see that Chivilik is kind of looking a little dazed. You can tell that all of this has taken a toll on him, and you can see that uh, uh, the body of this recorder is there, um, splayed out, clearly dead. What do you do, Iscara?
I looked to see what it was. Could I see obvious wounds? How did the recorder die? What killed him?
Absolutely. Let's have you make uh, a simple roll. I think it's difficulty one. This is a way of generating momentum, I think. I think this is, uh, let's say, reason plus security.
Okay. I am moderate. Sounds good.
Okay.
Need a 10. And I roll a 20 and 18. So there you go.
Okay.
You're welcome.
I think that it looks to you, from what you can see, like uh, he fell uh, uh, out here. And you suspect, just based on what you're seeing here, perhaps he came out here to see what was going on, in the midst of this, to check on things. He may have been pushed, but you don't have any evidence to that effect. You don't see a knife wound or a gun wound or anything like that.
Okay. Okay.
Who was your mentor, Escarra?
My
Describe your
mentor.
mentor to me at the academy.
Oh man, do we want to do a tie back to? Oh man, you took the NPC off of the thing. The uh Admiral who we had from previous, or do we want to introduce
Oh,
a
yeah,
new
we could do
character?
that. Absolutely. Like, here, I can open up the past episodes.
Thank you. Past episodes. That's where I should be looking.
Uh, So think Commodore Shelley, someone that you kind of looked up to despite him being a jerk. I think
Exactly.
that as you are kind of checking this body, the others have held back, like Chivilik is kind of keeping them back to give you a chance to look. I think you see out of the corner of your eye, you will see Commodore Shelley, and he looks disappointed in you.
Not a new look. We could even just reuse footage from
Yes.
previous.
With a little bit of the wind stuff behind. He says, "What are you doing, Ascara?"
Jerome, how did you get here?
I think you've got more important things here. You're leading these people to die. Going to
No,
be
I'm not. I'm
another
taking them to
failure.
safety. We need to make it to this bunker.
Safety. You've lost one person already. One person's blood on your hands.
Well, let's keep it to one. Look around. We need to keep moving.
And you'll move back, and again, like he's gone when you turn back to look again. And uh Primarch Tove will say, all right. She kind of falls in with you. Uh, you've got some uh, crew with you, the nurse, and I believe uh, 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 Lieutenant Johnson, I believe, is with you as well,
with a broken leg.
with a broken leg.
That's
Uh,
right.
so how do you want to, what do we see you, how do we see you managing this next step? You're worried about the threat from these people. We've got an injured person here. Do you want to like
I
do
pull in.
something?
I say, Sequent Dozen, I need your help. We are going to assist Lieutenant Johnson. Javilic, find us that path. And that way I have the person who I think is the most obvious threat right near me, not free range killing folks.
Okay. Uh, Control plus command. This is
Wow.
you essentially managing stuff, being a leader. This is you leading the team, and you have a focus in that.
I do have a focus in that. So that means I got some extra two successes if I roll
Five or
uh
less.
five or less.
Do you want to spend a momentum from the momentum pool?
I'm tempted.
We have three.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna do it.
Okay.
If no one is upset about that, I will do that thing. How do I make another die? This thing is always just a little. Okay, good. It
I
is.
always
Okay.
create like two, three, four, and five dice sets.
Oh my goodness, I am
That is
very commanding.
five successes. So this was a difficulty three to do this. So you've got two extra successes. So you could use those to create a trait for the
Hmm.
rest of the journey. You could use that to ask questions. You could use that to like just move faster.
I could throw one back to momentum,
Yeah,
or
yeah, you
okay.
could do that, and then you could ask a question or increase effect with the other
I'd
one.
like to increase effect,
Okay,
help to get us to safety, because I like sure I'd love to reveal the unknown, but it seems like this is too chaotic. That doesn't feel like the
yeah.
right moment for that revelation necessarily. But everybody hopping to and getting us to safety without losing anyone else, and then I'll throw one back to the momentum, which I see somebody added that in. Thank you.
And it does feel to you like once you get this person that Sequent Dozen kind of in that command role. He's clearly like, despite whatever fanaticism, he's also clearly someone who takes orders. And once you get him in that mode, he is, falls into that like kind of out of habit. You're keeping an eye on him, and he is keeping Johnson up and moving. And like, uh, what is the breakthrough that you make that lets you move faster, or what kind of physical terrain thing do you find that gets you through here in all of this chaos?
Chivilic finds a small cave system that allows us to circumvent some of the open air traversing, and we're able to cut through pretty quickly.
Absolutely. And you are moving closer to this bunker, traveling through here. You're going to get to the other side, and you can probably like we see the kind of the cave entrance. They've done a nice physical set for the entryway, and you can see that there's kind of a valley with a a cracked icy flow river, and this across the way this bunker that looks big. And kind of as you are there, you will hear Sequent Dozen say, tries to keep it quiet. He says this under his breath, but he says, "We are not permitted there.
Why are we not permitted there?
We should not go to that place. It is forbidden."
Do you have other options? Then we're going there.
Okay. There's that long pause, and you will pull them forward. Moreno, back up on the Tempest, meeting of the senior staff. We see Taven, we see our engineering chief, we see our chief scientist. So what are you doing here?
We managed to hit the sphere, but it is fully intact. It released another wave. We need alternate solutions. First, we need a method to overcome this visual impairment that we're all suffering, these hallucinations. Uh, Taven and have to look her up. I always have to look her name up. I always forget. I'm so bad at this.
Lieutenant
Kimiko?
Takahashi?
Yes. So a way you can modify the ship so that because the computer can talk to us when we like ask it questions, that it will auditorily feed us the information that we need so we can trust on our ears and not our eyes.
Chief Engineer would say, it'll take me a bit because we don't fully use that, but I can make everything audio supported. Uh, that I can do. And she seems relieved, like that's an easy task. So I think that she's like, I can get on that right away.
All right, that's good to know.
The question is, can you do it without your eyes?
His pause as she's getting up to leave. Um, it'll be harder, but uh, we have vocal interface for some things. It's going to take me longer, but I can do it by voice command to get that set. It's just not a protocol I'm used to, so it'll take me a bit to test and get responses to get it set. But
I have
good
full
point to
faith in
that.
you, Kimiko. And you know this ship like the back of your hand, so you could probably operate just by feeling.
We're going to find out.
And Moreno's just doing her best to try to keep morale high.
Okay.
So it's just
Do you want to
like,
do a morale creating trait here?
Ven's doing her
sure,
best to state the facts
Yeah.
sure we'll
We're all
try.
going to die. No.
in
Moreno
almost
is
direct
like,
contravention.
it's like we don't have our best science people here. So, I will try, sure.
Okay. So control plus command.
Okay, well, could be worse. I will spend momentum.
Spending a momentum.
Yes. Huh? If only it was
Got it.
23.
So we're down to two.
Right.
Oh, here's Jim.
Hey. 13 or less. Oh, joy. Oh, joy.
So what do you got? Oh boy.
Yep, that's.
That's one success in the complication. Do you still have your determination?
I do. I'm not spending it.
You're not spending your determination.
No.
Then
You
I
still
think
have it. You have it back.
Huh?
You don't still have it. You have it back. You
Well, yeah, I got
you
it back. Yeah.
yeah.
challenged the
Uh
values last time.
then I think that you don't create trait. Like people are still
Nope.
very freaked out about the situation. They're very upset about it. And I think that you will definitely hear some people say, I wish Escarra was still up here.
Yeah. So what? All right. Sven, I'm gonna really need your help keeping emotions calm since, you know, you're you're a figurehead among a lot of the lower crew, and we're flying by the seat of our pants here. Uh, this isn't a radiation thing, so I'm not really, and piloting is not going to be too helpful for us right now. So your skills and your logic, I need all the support you can give me. And I'm
You have it.
spending my determination to add 4 momentum to the pool,
Okay.
and then spending 3 momentum to give to Ven back their determination.
Okay.
So,
Momentum goes to three then.
yep.
And uh,
Because I got faith of the heart in you.
you do. Moreno, uh, would you also put on your uh, traits
Hmm.
deepening infection?
Oh no.
We'll come
I
back
love this.
to what that looks like in a moment. But to summarize the issues that we have right now, our engineer is dealing with the visual problem by switching things to auditory. Commander Taven is in charge of figuring out what's going on with this syndrome. There's the question of getting contact with people on the planet. And there is the issue of figuring out a way to keep this energy field from affecting you and allow you to move closer to that alien sphere. So there are a number of tasks that are on the table there. Uh, to then, what do we want to see you doing after that meeting? And then I'm going to come to we're going to do your thing, and then we're going to come back to the planet.
Hmm. I want to do we have a good idea? I know that I've seen one of these hallucinations. Are there other people in sickbay that have seen them?
Yeah, yeah. I think you can talk to some people that I I saw my dad and he was really angry with me, and like I think you will see that the common thing across these people are people that are tough on them, people that
Hmm.
are difficult on them, which makes you think, because of course you saw yourself.
Hmm.
Uh, so how about we have you do a medical role here?
Yeah,
You've got your diagnostic expertise. This would be, I think, reason plus medicine. Plus, you're also going to get the ship's die for this. But let's start with your die here.
I am going to spend momentum for this.
Okay. So 3d20 to start, and then we'll roll the ship's die.
3d20, and I'm looking for a 15/5.
15/5.
That looks like two successes and a complication.
It does. It does look like that. So that's two successes. Let's have you roll the ship's die. So that would be computers plus medicine. So another a 10 or less on that.
No,
Okay. So you get two successes. Are you more interested in setting up a trait or are you more interested in getting answers right now?
I think I'm more interested in getting answers.
Okay.
I,
So what is your first question? I'm going to give you two questions with those two successes.
I want to know. I'm guessing that this is given that people are seeing things that are relevant to them. This seems to be something that's affecting the brain
Hmm.
directly, and it's not an affliction of the eyes. I'm wondering if I can isolate the part of the brain that is being impacted, if we can determine
Yeah,
where that's happening.
I think that the first thing you can do is you can tell that there is anomalous activity happening in the visual and language centers. Like that is definitely there's some change, some inflammation there that seems to be happening. What is your second question?
So I guess once I've isolated where it's happening in the brain, I kind of want to see if I can. I'm looking for some way to either counter or shield the effect. So I'm trying to figure out. The question would be, can I identify the source of
Okay,
this?
yes.
Like in like what is getting into our heads?
You will pick up that everyone thus far infected has a weird, anomalous uh, set of metal particulates running through their body, and they they seem very complex. They are tiny, tiny microscopic nanoparticle things that are doing this. Uh, and they clearly have a goal, a program that they're carrying out. They're also drawing on the sort of natural energy of the body to kind of power themselves. And they're also hollow emitters. So they're actually, some of them are on the surface of the skin and seem to be projecting these holograms out. Does that seem like a fair answer?
It does. That explains why we're having shared hallucinations.
All right. I'm going to cut from you up there. I'm going to cut back down to the planet. When we left off, kind of at this cave entryway, Chivilik's at the front. There is a valley. Across the way is the bunker you need to get to. There is an icy river running with ice flow river down below that you're going to need to get across. Escarra is kind of keeping an eye on things. He has tasked Sequent Dozen to keep our broken leg security person moving, so that they're kind of tying him onto that, and they're getting ready to move. So, Chivilik, what's your strategy here for getting this crew of people who are not equipped for this in this wild, wacky weather down and across? What do you want to do to get across that ice flow? You are muted.
So it sounds like the first thing we need to do is like get down the like to the bottom of the
Oh, I think that's
ravine
not.
or something like that,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
no,
yeah.
that's okay.
I'll just let you describe what that is because you are an Andorian. So describe that, and I think the real task is that river.
Um, uh, uh, it's actually pretty like we've got phasers. Rich described last time doing the thing where you shoot the rock and warm it up, the like that thing that they've done in those episodes. So what Chivilik does is like and this is clearly a thing like that he's whatever that he's done before. Like he takes the phaser, kind of twist a little, go beep 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 beep, just one of these things, and just fires this like wide beam kind of down the slope that melts just enough of it and then it instantly freezes, and so we have like a little slide that we can just slide down,
Oh,
right,
nice.
to get down to the edge of the river. And then once we get down there, then it's like walk, kind of walk along the shore until I see something big enough that if we blast the bottom of it, it'll crash down over the river, um, so that we can then get across.
Okay. Let's say I'm going to say control plus security here.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like in an ideal universe, there's like we come across some like weathered ruins, and there's a column that we can knock down and
Absolutely.
something like that. So yeah,
Escara, do you want to assist him?
I was just looking up my
I
little
will.
talent of
I would be
advisor.
happy to take some
Yes, I
assistance.
will
Yes,
assist you using my command.
Okay.
excellent.
So you may reroll 1d20 because of my advisor talent.
Okay,
So you'll be
so
rolling control plus command 1d20, Rich.
yep.
Oh, 1d20. Okay, working on that right this second.
And I'm rolling. What am I rolling? Same.
You are rolling, I think we said control plus security.
Control plus security. Yeah. All right.
Weird. I'm getting
yeah.
a request failed error when I try to roll one die. That's very interesting.
Hmm.
How bizarre. Where's the threat pool at right now? I'll throw a threat in so that I can
Okay.
add an extra die. There's only
Absolutely.
two momentum left,
I
so
Okay.
am literally no help.
let's see what I got with my three dice here. Uh, I think that's two
That
successes, right? Because
is
I've got 9 and 5, right?
right. That is two
Yeah.
successes. So,
Oh, and
uh,
I can re-roll one, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, let me re-roll that 15. I'm just going to throw it as a single die. Here. Nope. Wah.
Yeah. So, Commander Chivillik, I'm going
Through
to
his
have,
chattering teeth, the
yeah,
captain is unable to offer any
uh,
useful advice. Yeah.
I'm going to have you mark for stress.
Yeah,
I
for
think
sure.
that like you will get, like you described it, this pillar, like if this like
Hmm.
rocky pillar, you will hit that and it will come down across it. But then you've got to kind of help guide. Cold water is splashing up.
Oh yeah.
You're having to expose yourself more. And even with your Andorian physiology, I think that Escarra, you'll see when you get to the other side that Chivillik is taxed.
Yeah, this is brutal.
Can I shoot him with a phaser and warm him up?
But they are you are all moving up now, climbing up towards this bunker, and you will get up to it. It's huge. There's big, old, weird stone doors on it. Um, Escara, let's have you make I think, uh, insight plus command roll here.
Okay, insight plus command means my target is 14. Weird. My dice aren't showing up on the table anymore, and they keep rolling like butt. I am not rolling these dice anymore. I'm very mad. That is once. Wait, is it lower than? I can't remember if it's equal to
Equal
or
to
lower
or
than.
lower.
Okay,
Equal.
one success.
Okay. Yeah, you may want to refresh. Uh, I think that like when you're looking at this, uh, clearly n none of these people have ever been here, the three that are with you. Um, and like they like whatever they're seeing in terms of the tech and the design of this, like this is clearly foreign to them.
Interesting.
They look a little like weirded out by this. And I think that like Ozza will see you kind of observing this and will come over to you and will say, uh, Captain, I'd only ever heard of this place. And none of us have been here. I thought for certain it would be something we would know, but like I don't know how this works.
Well, we will figure it out together. Uh, the Dozen's concerns. Do you share them?
She pauses and she says, "Ah, I I did not believe that the world had been destroyed many times. I believed I believed in the ideas of like not letting technology get out of control, but I didn't believe in an apocalypse, but until we saw that thing in the sky.
Hmm.
But but I she looks at you, she goes, this world is far stranger than I ever thought it would be.
Well, we're all learning something today. We'll learn it together.
And I think we'll see you come up to these big doors. There's an overhang, so all of you are kind of out of the wind and snow and stuff, and they can like drop back that. So you're on a soundstage now. They've got the big thing, so
Nice.
that they don't have to worry about that. There's a little snow that's blowing in. We're going to cut from you to there. Let's come back up to Moreno. What task are you working on? Want to try and encourage the crew again?
I'm so bad at it. So bad at it. Um, I'm doing what I can to what's my no, my engineering's one, so I can't really help in fixing
Well, keep in
things.
mind, you're in command.
Yeah,
So how that works is you
yeah,
say, this is the task we're doing. I'm leading this team. I'm pushing this team to do this. And then you're
yeah.
using your command score for that.
Yeah, I know. My command score is not great, but it's better than engineering. So,
Yeah.
so yeah, uh, she's probably like leading some of the science officers to, get whatever scans we can on this thing.
Okay. Are you more interested in figuring out about what the sphere is or figuring out how to get that radiation taken care of?
Oh, there's radiation.
Yeah,
Uh,
that energy that you were hit by.
okay. Yeah, I
I
think
am pointing you towards your focus
yes,
there.
yes.
So,
Cool. Yeah, then the radiation. Yeah.
okay. So let's do control plus command
All right.
with your radiation specialist focus.
All right. 13. We
You
got
can spend a momentum. Give me a
we
threat.
only have two momentum. I guess I'll give you a threat.
Ba, 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 ba.
Do we get a ship die?
Yes, you do.
Okay. It'll be the soccer ball. There are two successes.
Two successes and roll the ship's die. It's an 11 or less.
No, I got a 16. It was the
That's in
soccer
there.
ball.
Oh, so two successes. So I think that uh, you will realize that uh, the there's a sort of similar radiation that it's using to cause the effects on the planet, the sort of destructive weather effects, sort of hitting the atmosphere with that, and that is also the same sort of energy that it's using to kind of push you back, and so on. This feels sort of very undirected, like almost like it's emitting this sort of generally towards the planet, and this happens to be kind of a backwash of it for you. Um, and you will realize uh, that there is a way for you to block it. Tell me what that way is.
Oh,
Give
we've
me the
got a
techno babble.
oh, I gotta pull up the sheet. Where is it? Jargon chart. If we reconfigure the multiphasic dampener, it might cause a polarizing pulse that will help block this radiation.
Absolutely. Emitting that pulse as you move forward, almost like a sonic ping, can neutralize this, and you'll be able to get closer to the sphere. Uh, so you've got that problem set. At the same time as this is all doable because you're working with audio only.
Hmm.
Essentially, all you're talking, you're hearing the stuff. You've got multiple
It's like
teams on this. They
it's like
are,
using sonar.
yeah. Uh, to Ven, what is your next step here?
I want to know if any of these nanobots are in our in the atmosphere inside the ship. Like, basically, I want to try and figure out a way to flush it out of people's systems, but before doing that, I want to make sure they're not going to just be immediately reinfected.
Ah, they aren't because you took care of that life support system. issue.
Because we
It's
reset the life support.
Yeah, it seemed like that impact part was what was distributing them out.
Okay.
That initial beam kind of transported some things in, and then the life support was distributing them out and around.
In that case, I'm looking for a way to either disable them or flush them out of a person's system.
Okay, I'm going to call that a 4-tick clock for you
Okay.
for an extended task kind of thing. There is an extended task system, but I'm using clocks right now because it'll be faster and easier.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so right now, this is a reason plus medicine roll. We're going to see a montage and we're going to hear that dun, 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 music in the background as you're working.
Reason plus medicine, which is good for me. That's a 15. Don't know that any of my focuses particularly apply to this. I could make a case for immunology.
Uh, yeah, I'll give you that. Well, infectious diseases as well. I think either one of those is good. I think you've got a specialty that's appropriate there.
All right. Do I want another die for this?
It's up to you.
What is the
Yeah, your
benefit of?
determination.
I do have determination. I was thinking about that. I'm wondering if that's worth spending it on a
You could
on a
spend it.
clock.
You would get 2 successes, two ticks before we even rolled.
All right, let's do that. I
Okay.
will spend determination to get 2 ticks. Is that
What
setting one of the 2
value?
dice that I would ordinarily get?
No, no, you now get to roll your 2 dice.
Okay.
Essentially, what it does is it creates an extra die that's set at a 1.
I think this is the value I finish what I start.
Okay.
Like this is a task set to me by acting Captain Moreno, and
Reason plus medicine.
all right. So 2d20, 15/5.
Yep. Okay.
2 successes.
2 more successes. Roll the ship's die. 11 or less. You guys
No.
are not having a good die night, but you do succeed. However, you've got a way to do this, and you tested on yourself, I assume, to do this. And
Mhm.
it will flush out, uh, 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 and you will look up, and you can see on your skin that there are those nanites, those things, as they've been neutralized, they seem to have bonded with your system. And you can see that there are these kind of bluish patterns on your skin now, on your face,
Mhm.
uh, that look a lot like the Thulsans.
Which the audience would realize, but Taven hasn't seen them.
Yes. Let's take our first break. Let's take till 10 after, and then we'll continue on. So I'd like to imagine that like your security officer is kind of keeping an eye on those. And by the way, is everybody cool with, I mean, kind of focusing on the pair characters and like
I
putting
like
support?
it. I think
Okay, I
it's
just want to
great
I just
for
want to make
this.
sure on this thing. Okay.
Big fan.
I mean, that's how the show does it.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I just want
totally,
to make
yeah.
sure. So, but if you feel like you want to do something in the scene, just tell me. But I imagine that your security Johnson is kind of you whispered something to him, and he's kind of keeping an eye on Dozen, you know, Tobe and Azza are there, and this gives a chance. Maybe I want to get a scene here between Chivilic and Escarra here.
Nice. So we're have we made it? Like, are we in the
You
shelter and we're
there
seeing
there
all
is
the
a big set
weird?
of doors that you're
Right.
not sure how to
Okay.
get through here, like past friend, kind of thing, but you're out of the weather immediately. It's just super cold.
And this is me because it's been a couple weeks.
Yeah.
this is me reminding everybody, Chivilic has a bandage
Oh
around
yeah,
his
yeah.
face
Well,
because
I is
he's
very
there we go. Okay, yeah, that's I came in late, so I wasn't sure whether you emphasized that
used to
I
be an
like
adventurer till you took
yeah,
an arrow to the eye. Okay,
exactly.
so
I have half blind as a trait on my sheet right now. So yeah. Yeah, so I've got a, like ice encrusted like bloody bandage, across my face too.
Uh,
How you holding
Uh,
up, Cap?
how am I holding up?
Yeah.
Abe, you, I'm more worried about you. I'm fine.
Oh, I mean, it's a little colder than I'm used to, but it's nothing I haven't been through at home. Well, I mean, that I haven't been told about going through at home. I mean, I didn't grow up on Andoria, so, but, like I figure it's all in there somewhere, right?
Yeah, genetic memory, that kind of thing. Listen, we wouldn't be here if it weren't for you. I really appreciate it, but when we get inside and find some safety, I want you to take a rest, all right, Abe? I'm worried about you.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And then he turns and looks up at the giant door and says, so, do we speak friend and enter?
And I say, I hate Tolkien, sir. Um, uh, and I shrug, but I've heard worse ideas. And, and I'll just kind of, and like, I think this is the thing where the two of us kind of walk up to it and just look at it and, try and see what,
Scope it out.
they're
okay.
writing on it or
It does
glyphs or whatever.
look like there are some markings in here, and uh, definitely. Uh, Actually, let's start with this. Let's do a question thing. Let's do a gather information, I think. Uh, and I think this is going to be, uh, gosh, I think reason plus command. Command is about communication, so on. I'm going to
I
give
mean,
you that.
I've got linguistics as a focus.
Yeah, I'm going to let you
So,
have your
yeah.
Ooh,
focus on
do
that.
Yeah.
it.
So you're
Yeah.
rolling with an 11/4. And Rich, you can also assist
I'll
with the die.
assist, which means you get to re-roll a d20.
And you're
Fantastic.
rolling 12 or less, Rich.
I
We'll
will,
see if I am.
I'll spend one of those two momentum.
Okay.
13 to 17. Again, I'm no help.
Okay.
See what I got here.
So I'll take that momentum down one. 3d20.
Oh, I like the look of that.
Yeah. So that is 3 successes.
Yeah.
So let me give you
Oh, and
some.
I can re-roll the 19 though,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So why don't I do that? Oh yeah.
Okay.
That is 4 successes.
That is 4 successes. So let me give you uh, some basic piece of information with the sort of the difficulty 2 here.
Mhm.
And then you can decide like what else you want to know. You're looking at this and Chivilic, before you came to this planet, you looked over the notes for Thulsa and so on. And what you're seeing here is not Thulsan, but there's a weird, like, it bears some of the signs and signatures. Like there's some like sentence structural, some semantic forms. And it seems to you like they've described now, you figured out from the conversation that Escarra has had that the Thulsans have had this collapse of their civilizations that has occurred. And this feels like from one of those earlier cycles. Uh, and it's definitely higher tech in terms of like there's contact pads and things like that than anything that the Thulsans right now have.
Oh, interesting. Okay. So
So that's the
which
basics of what you're going to get on
sure.
that.
Um, but that also says that this stuff was no kidding built to last. Um, unless it's just been, oh,
Yeah. So
okay.
yeah, you've got a couple of momentum that you can ask questions. Like
Yeah,
if
so
you
I
want
guess
to know,
sure. My first question is, has this been here the whole time, or like did it just get unearthed? Is it, is this, equipment that's withstood the elements for thousands of years, or
yeah,
is
yeah, I
it
think that's a really good
suddenly
question.
revealed?
No,
Yeah.
this has definitely been here for a very long time and out here exposed. Given what Dozen and the others have said, like like they knew that there was this thing on this world that's not their world. I mean, it's in their system, but not their home world.
Mhm.
Uh, and like regarded as a weird artifact that they didn't touch. And you have a sense maybe passed down through time, like don't go there kind of thing. So yeah, this is definitely that. Um, what is your other question?
Which of their facial tattoos most resembles a symbol that we see on the door?
Oh, interesting. I like that. I think it is the observance. Like, remember I said that she'd kind of done some things to
Yeah.
her look is a
Hmm.
little bit different than the others, both in the coloration and such. So there's definitely some connection there. And like the thing that you've heard is that they are like ethicists and that they have an ancient order, that there's something of that.
Yeah, I think we're gonna call her over.
Okay. She
Just kind of, can you come here?
Okay, and she will come to where you and Escarra are.
And I will say to her, we don't know how to get into this thing. And it sounds like you're not familiar with it, but I can't help but notice that this symbol right here strong resembles what you have on your left cheek there. And I wonder, we can't help but wonder if there's some connection.
These symbols are not language. They are when the catastrophes came, we lost our language. We had to rebuild it. But these are symbols from the before times that have been carried through.
Can you put your hand on the entrance? Can you see if you can feel any sort of a connection?
And she will pause. I can certainly try. And she will touch this, and you can see that there is a crackle of energy and kind of comes out, and she kind of pulls her hands back as this door opens, uh, and she will turn to you and go, "Abding des
Um,
and
uh, yeah.
like your universal translator goes, "Not found."
Hmm. Oh, fascinating.
And
Um,
then you will hear a booming voice that does come through your universal translator here that says, "This is not a place of honor." And we'll see like dust falling in this hallway in as lights are coming on. And I think you can see this hall, and you can't tell exactly what it is, but this place is filled with technology.
and I cup my hands to my mouth and say, nonetheless, it is a place that is out of the wind. Begging your pardon. And and I'll kind of like, we'll get everybody inside.
Okay. So you two will move in. That voice will repeat. It's clearly an automated message here as you move into this place. Uh, Escarra, what is it that tells you that Dozen is making his move?
Have we seen? I thought we saw a blade on
Yeah, he has a
him.
blade. He's carrying a blade.
Yeah. I noticed that he has removed the little safety snap Velcro, whatever, space Velcro
Space
His
Velcro.
off. And
his peace
yeah,
bond. Yeah.
his peace bond. That sounds so much cooler. Thank you very much. He's removed the peace bond, and I realized, oh, that is for a reason.
Okay.
And I'm going to draw on him.
Okay. I want you, I spent a couple threat to do this kind of ambush on you. So
Nice. Yeah,
I would
ambush
like
away.
you to make a fitness plus security roll to avoid his initial stab, and then I'll let you take a reaction here.
Awesome. Spin before roll to add a dice. So if I spend one determination right now, I would add a die
Yeah,
set to one.
yeah, you'd have two successes, and then you get to roll your regular dice.
Okay. I'm gonna do that. I just am rolling too terribly to trust the dice at this point. And since I have something to obviate trusting the dice, I will do that. I will not be spending any motivation. I'll just do that thing, determination spent, and that is a 1 and a 13.
You absolutely dodge out of the way of this as he comes lunging at you. Chivilic is up a ways with the assessor, so you're kind of caught here. What do we see you do, Escarra? You want to try and take him out hand to hand? Are you going to try and phaser him? What do you think?
Oh man, I mean, I'm the captain. I have to take him out hand to hand. Phaser seems like a chump move. So
Okay.
the
So
judo chop. Oh yeah, the double overhand axe handle. Yeah, we're in classics. So that is
Okay.
how he.
well,
Daring plus
I was going
security.
to offer
Oh, yes.
you asked Johnson to keep an eye on him. Can Johnson toss you his blade? Because Johnson had a sword as well.
Oh, that's
Oh,
right.
that's
Yeah.
right. Yes,
Okay.
thank
Yeah, I
you.
think that's
Oh
a
man,
perfect use of the supporting character. Captain Escarra, you're throwing a blade to duel this guy.
amazing.
So daring plus security, Captain.
Amazing. Okay, that's a 13 or lower here. Do I have anything? No. Focus, composure? No, I don't think anything
You want
else.
to spend a momentum?
There's only one in the pool. Oh,
You can always
I
give
just,
him threat to add dice.
I'll give you, how many threat do you have? Two? I'll
Two?
give you a threat to add a third die. Is that
Absolutely.
works that way?
Okay. Yeah.
All right, 3d20. Here we go. One, two successes. That third die helped. Two successes.
Two successes. How do you get the advantage on him? He's a trained sword fighter. What is it that allows you to kind of get the edge there? Because you beat him by a success there, so you've kind of got him on his back foot.
I think I use the loudspeaker declaring that we are dishonorable here, and I say, "Do you think you're honoring your ancestors right now?" And that is the moment, and boom, I
Kind of
strike.
takes that pause, strike, uh, and yeah, you can knock the blade out of his hand there, and put the tip of it to his throat,
Yes,
and
yield.
he will put his hands down.
Did you kill the recorder?
No, but I saw what killed him.
What was it?
A a figure appeared in the snow and started arguing with him, and he moved away from it like he knew it, and then he fell.
I step back, and then I stun him.
Boo. Okay, I love it. Good, good off. I'm going to cut back up to the Tempest up top. Uh, let's start with Moreno. Or would you like me to start with Taven?
Go,
I
sure.
I was going to suggest that Taven would have gone to find Moreno if she's found something that will help.
And I think you'll be struck by the job that the makeup artists have done on Taven when she arrives.
Taven, are you feeling okay? Wait, maybe it's just me.
I can assure you I am real. I realize that is not a comfort,
No,
as that is
there's
exactly what a hallucination would say.
right. Okay. Well, I just you look, are you coming down with, is there a Vulcan flu that I'm not aware of?
That is likely, but I am, I believe, not unwell.
Huh.
I
'Cause
have found a way
have you looked in
to.
a mirror recently? Computer, could you describe what Taven looks like to me?
And it will describe what Taven looks like to you.
Recently is a very vague term, Commander.
Well,
The hallucinations appear to be caused by some kind of nanobots that
okay.
have infected many of the crew. I have put together an oscillating resonant pulse that can neutralize them. It causes this effect, but it appears to neutralize the hallucinations.
Okay. All right. This is Taven. Thank you.
This will be unpleasant. And she presses a hypospray to,
Yeah.
to your neck and just
Ah,
you just feel a pulse of
can't
weird
be as
energy flood through your system.
you sure it's not as bad? Okay, it is.
And I think we do see there is a minute where we do see that kind of the sort of blue shapes appear, but then fade off from Moreno because Moreno doesn't have the same blood as a Vulcan does. You have
Mhm.
copper-based blood, and it is apparently bound to the copper in your bloodstream.
Okay.
Intriguing.
But you feel fine, Moreno.
Okay. Well, we've come up with a way
Yes.
to advance the ship closer to the sphere. So,
You may remove the deepening infection trait that I didn't
whew,
get yet to impose on you. So.
whew. Thanks, Ben. You're the best medical officer.
As I begin to inoculate the remainder of the crew, are there any that I should prioritize, Commander?
Um, yeah, I think she gives like obviously chief of engineering. Make sure the chief, Tund, senior staff, and then the direct subordinates. She's got a whole priority list ready to go. She's
Yeah.
very bureaucratic.
So to then we'll see you then moving through, do you think that we see you moving through the ship or do you think you're having them come to med bay? Like
No, I think given the nature of the crisis and the fact that we need people at stations, I think Tavena's moving through the ship and inoculating people as she goes.
absolutely. And I think you will see there are probably a couple of other crew members of non-human species who have, a different, more copper-based blood, and they will also have that same thing happen to their skin when that occurs. You know that the Thulsans are copper-based as well. And we will see you moving, clearing things up. Moreno, they started to get this set, removing that
Yep.
problem from the ship.
All right. So let's get us closer to that sphere.
Okay. Uh,
Maybe.
what do you want to try and do? Do you want to try and comms down to the planet? Do you want to try and scan this thing? Do you want to do something else? What do you
Let's try
think?
and calms down to the planet. If we
Okay,
can reestablish communication with the captain and the away team.
sure. That will be control plus con.
Okay. All right. I like Khan. I'm good with that. Right. I will. I'll give you another threat.
You sure you want to do that?
I'm never sure, but we only have one momentum, and it hurts. I don't want to be the one to take it, the last one. Do I get a ship die?
You do get a ship die.
It would be worse if we ended the game with that momentum still in the pool.
Yeah. So comms plus con, so an 8 or less for that.
8 or less. Okay. Oh, for the ship die.
Yeah. So nothing on the ship's die.
All right. So, well, yeah.
One
One
success.
singular success.
So
God, I wish Abe was here.
uh so I think you will realize that like you're getting comms down there, but it's not the atmospheric interference that's blocking you. They're clearly in some place that is like blocking communications, blocking sensors, like uh, they're in some place secure. And as far as you knew, there wasn't anything like that on the planet.
Okay, that's
Does that
very interesting.
does that feel
And
like a reasonable piece
yeah,
of
no, that's
information there?
great. That's very concerning.
Okay.
I thought we had this scanned. Hmm.
The we see the sphere, it's still, sending energies out to the planet, still messing with the weather systems down there. Uh, I think that uh, you will, Escarra, Chivilic will see that the three Thulsans, like they are clearly not feeling well. Like the both the exhaustion of the travel, but they also seem to be not doing well, and particularly are observant the fact that she seems to have lost the ability to communicate. Is kind of freaking her out. Like the language that she's speaking right now is not what anyone can understand. So, Ascara Chivilic, what do you want to do here? How do you, I think I should check with Ascara because you're giving the orders. So,
Mhm.
what do you want to have happen here, sir?
We've entered this shelter, Abe, and perhaps there are some countermeasures we haven't accounted for. The Thulsans seem affected. Let's see if we can figure out what's impairing them.
I think it looks to you like they're ill. Like it looks
Just physically
like
ill and worn
physically ill.
out?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
More than the travel, like something is finally kind of getting to them here. And I think your nurse that you have with you, because you have a
Yeah.
doctor with you, will
Take a look.
say
Forgot all about the nurse. So let's do that thing. Thank you very
they
much.
will take the little salt shaker to do the little medical scan, and they'll say there's some kind of infection that's working on them, sir. I think we better have them remain in place here.
All right. I don't know if Asa, who can't speak, can understand, but I'll explain to all three of them. We need you to remain here. Oh, well, I don't have to worry about talking to
Yeah,
Sequentos and as he's
yeah, that's a good
remaining
question.
on the
Does
floor.
does she understand us? Like her speech is
No,
garbled,
she's
but does
not
she?
understanding you. She's
Okay,
not understanding her companions.
okay. So a little bit of like kind of reassuring sign language,
Yep.
right? And indicate that we're like the others are going to be here where they're safe and that she should come with us.
Okay. So the security guy is going to stay here to keep an eye on
Hmm.
Dozen. The
Yep.
nurse is going to stay here to keep an eye on the Primarch, and you two and the observant will go forward. Does that seem right, Captain?
Yes.
You move along, and there is that kind of, you know, motion censored light thing that happens. Uh, Maybe even that sort of sound as the lights come on there. And you can see that there are along the walls here, in various units there are boxes, but there's also gear that a lot of it looks very military. Weapons, you know, power suits, that kind of thing as you're moving along, kind of tanks. Uh, and it definitely feels as you're moving along, kind of uh, that this place is a storehouse, and it has not been opened in millennia.
And I've been just thinking about something, so I'm gonna
Please,
kind of pause. I'm gonna hold up a hand and pause. Um, and I'm just gonna like, walk over to, where like one of the like stone slabs is there or something like that. And you said there's like this dust coming down and there's like dust in place and
yeah,
everything. And just kind of reach out with my finger and just write a few words in the dust and see if she understands that. Because I'm curious whether it's auditory language processing or whether it's affected her ability to read written language as well.
so she'll look at that, and she looks at you with a look of like, I don't understand that, like what you've written there, but you'll see her point at like what looks like a label on one of these things,
Okay.
and she points at it and she moves her finger along like she's able to read
Yeah, okay.
what that says.
Um, and I nod, kind of encouragingly. And I um uh make some hand motions like I point at it and I go, um, like if it's gonna hurt us, you know,
She kind of makes
stop
this
us.
like shooting gesture.
Yeah. Okay. And and then I guess further in, right?
And you will move on, and then there is a bigger light that appears, and you can see there are clearly maybe lifts that go down further at kind of the end of this sort of first emergent corridor, and there's another one, but in the midst of this is what looks like a console, kind of a circular console that is, that kind of where you'd have multiple people kind of standing around working at screens kind of thing. Um, and you all will walk towards that. Escarra, what are your
We, I'm sorry, what options do we have at this?
Well, you could check out the panel there. You could have Aza look at it. You could look at going down further into the bowels of this place.
Are you able to read any of this, Abe? Or is it just Ozzy who has that functionality?
I think it's just as it has that functionality. Is there uh and I guess, look at her, shrug and like point down, like
Okay. And she'll look to
and
you.
like, is there anything you can do?
She looks to you, Escara. You've kind of gained her trust throughout this. She goes, okay. Um, and she will look, and you see her kind of move her hands along here. She's clearly trying to kind of figure it out. There'll be, text that'll come on there. You see her kind of look and kind of hit some things there, and you will see a like hologram, a big holographic sphere, and you will start to see what looks like a pre-recorded message. There are icons, there are iconography here. You will see what looks like Thulsa Prime, the planet, uh, and we'll see fleets of spaceships leaving from Thulsa Prime. They clearly going to another star system, and they will be another planet, and the Thulsans attack the planet. And that happens several times where you see the Thulsans spreading out and attacking these planets. And then they come to a world and they attack that world, and that world destroys their fleet. And it's clear that that world sort of pursued them back. That the Thulsans destroyed their, a great deal of this, but the Thulsans came back and came back to here and thought they were safe. And then you will see the image of the sphere, this weapon that appeared and caused destruction. And civilization is destroyed, and their language is destroyed. Whatever this sphere does, it destroys whatever language, written language. They can no longer read it. You can tell that they find that just gone. But you can see then the rising of a new civilization and uh, them studying it and getting to a high tech level and again knocked down. And then when we get to this third level, we see a group of people who are warlords, technologists, things like that. And you can tell that the trigger for this whole thing is when the Thulsans, when warp technology appears in the system, it triggers this defensive measure. But in this time, you see them try to preserve some of their tech. They come to this other planet to build it here, to build this bunker here, to try and preserve it. Like maybe it'll be a way through. And then it kind of cuts off. Like clearly they didn't succeed because this place is so old and nobody came back here. And it is just sort of locked down. And then I think that
Wow.
will kind of uh, diminish. Uh, there will be, though, a another visual that will kind of pop up, uh, and it looks like they have built into this base a like a doomsday weapon to use against the sphere.
Interesting.
They didn't get a chance to use it, but you can see that's there. You don't know what it'll do.
Abe, they have a moonshot. Something would take out that sphere that they've never used. I wish we could speak with Tony. Try to see how they're faring up there.
If that device is activated by warp technology, sir, that's bad news for the Tempest.
Good point.
And I look at oh, whatever. We got communicators. I'll beep 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 beep. Beep. Tempest, come in. This is Commander Chivilic.
Well, I'm going to let you make a reason plus con roll. Uh, you know you're deep inside this, but you've got this thing here. You maybe get the console. You may be able to figure out how to piggyback on a signal to. Let's see. I think it is difficulty 3 to get comms up there.
Yeah, and this is one of those things where like I do it out and she's seen us communicating with it before and I like point at it and then I point up at, at our ship that's orbiting and I'm like, "Can you help me
Okay.
get in touch?"
All
Like
right.
that kind of thing. There's a lot of
I've spent my threat
kind of sign
difficulty
language going
3.
on here. All right. Okay. So, what are we doing here? This is
Reason plus con.
reason plus con. Oh, that's not great. Um, hmm, 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 hmm. um, but I've got communication systems
That
as
is
a
a focus.
focus.
Perfect.
Um, And yeah, and I will spend that last momentum. I'm not gonna
Okay.
be precious about it.
And Rich, I assume you're assisting.
Of course.
So you make your reason plus con, which is a 9, but you're going to give Chivilic a reroll.
Wow, there's a threat.
No, the first one is because you only get one die, so it's just the
Oh,
15.
shoot, sorry.
No, that's okay. So Chivilic 3d20.
I like that one that I
One,
rolled.
two, three.
And
That is,
I'm gonna re-roll my 16 because the
yeah.
captain's helping me out.
Yay.
Bingo.
Okay. So 5. So 2 momentum you can put in the pool if you want.
Yeah, let's
Uh,
throw those right back in the pool.
Moreno, you're
Build it
trying to
back up.
get through on comms, and finally you will get a signal from the surface.
This is Tempest.
Tempest. Uh, um, Commander Moreno, it's Commander Chivilic. Glad to hear that you're still there. We were worried that the civilization wiping doomsday device might have given you some difficulty up there that we found down here.
Civilization, we experienced our own bit of trouble, but thankfully, Taven has been able to cook up an inoculation for nanobots that infected us.
The um sorry, as a player, remind me that what's the name of the aliens?
Tulsa.
Thulsan.
The Thulsans. The Thulsans we're with here are ill. So can we get a
Where
train? Can we get a
are
transport?
you? We can't. We've been trying to contact you, but
Uh,
you're someplace that wasn't on initial scans.
no, it was hidden for a. Uh, it was hidden from the thing that you guys are dealing with. The thing that the Tempest is dealing with right now.
The
This was
sphere.
meant to be hidden from. Um, Long story, it'll be in my report. But right now, we need to get off of the planet and make sure that the Thulsans get access to whatever cure it is that the doctor came up with.
Okay. We'll get in touch with McClanahan.
Okay.
Try to get you up as quick as we can. You might need to come out of the bunker. Might be a little bit easier, but
Understood, sir. Just uh, we're gonna stay here where it's warm and out of the dagger-sized pieces of sleet
okay. Well,
until you confirm whether you can beam us up or not.
fair.
Escar, anything you want to add on to that conversation with Moreno there?
Good work, Tony. We're looking forward to seeing you again. I knew you would run the ship just fine.
Oh, have Tiven start whipping up an eyeball for me if you would, please.
What is this? Your sixth one? All right.
And I think that
Tempest out.
like we can spend a little bit of time here, but I think that you can wait, get to the entryway of this place, and you can transport back to the Tempest. And you will and be up there and think med teams. Escarra will immediately take the Thulsans to med bay. They will have a dermal set of patches for Chivilic. Um, and you're safe on the Tempest with this thing kind of just causing atmospheric damage down below. What do you want to do, Escarra?
Wait, I'm a little lost. What?
Oh yeah,
What?
no, you've gotten back to the Tempest.
Okay.
You're safe and sound,
Okay.
and you've gotten the Thulsans back safe because you can all just transport back up.
Great. Okay.
But this device is still running in the atmosphere of this
The
planet.
sphere. The
Yeah.
spheres to
Mind
work.
you,
Okay.
this is not the Thulsan homeworld. This
Right.
is a place you were going to go for dilithium mining. So if it runs its course,
Could ruin the dilithium mines. That would be a bummer. Kind of ruin the
May
whole
I
purpose.
interact with Ed?
Maybe we have a
yeah.
group scene where we're
Yeah.
discussing what to do next.
So a little bit of time has passed. We'll cut to the meeting room. Chivilic has the medical things. Escarra, Moreno, Chivilic, you will notice Taven's new look.
Bold choice, Devin.
Thank you, Captain.
All right. We have a doomsday weapon. We have a sphere that's threatening the dilithium mines. What are our options?
Like Moreno's read through whatever report Chivilic is probably quickly typed up, I guess. Uh, do we know who? Are we able at all to figure out what world sent this after the Thulsans?
Not currently.
Not currently.
Okay.
To the, were you able to determine whether the sphere is it running automatically? Is there a crew on board?
Previous scans, well, they knocked out a lot of our systems earlier, so we've just been
I think,
re-get.
yeah. The one thing I will answer to that is I think you were able to scan. There's no life signs on the thing itself.
Yeah. It as far as it's a sphere, so naturally I'm reminded of the Zindi weapon, but I doubt that they built this. But I don't know. Our relations with them are fraught at the best of times.
Mhm.
But there's no life signs on board. But if what you're saying is true, that the every time that the Thulsans develop warp technology, is it just this device that shoots them back to the Stone Age?
This is not
Because
their homeworld. I would not be surprised if they have others. It seems. Oh, the recorder wasn't that surprised about what was happening. They have an entire culture of concern around not advancing too far. So I
cannot.
would imagine that this has happened on other planets that Thulsans control.
Do we think we would be able to activate the device that the ancient Thulsans developed to counter this sphere? And if so, should we?
Answer the first question. We got a bunch of humans on board. We can figure out how to make big guns work.
I know Tun would love to check it out.
The second one's more important. Just because we have the ability to take out this sphere, should we? And what are the repercussions for that choice? I am no fan of an automated device that keeps a civilization in check from advancement, that runs counter to everything we believe in.
I think our we need to try to get into that sphere. Maybe we can shut it down from inside and send a potential message to the builders that, this has gone for too long.
The Doomsday Weapon can be a fallback option that we will consider only if there are no other options. I'm with you, Tony. Let's see what we can do about this sphere. I have a phone home idea. That's a long
Yeah.
shot, but
I think we should
hey,
I think we should bring at least one of the Thulsans with us.
it's a good suggestion, Abe.
Oh, this is a out of character question.
Yeah.
Has it was it the which one was having the language issues? Was it
Aza.
Asa.
Asa, does she still having it up here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Even after
Until Taven
oh,
inoculates.
okay. When she
Gotcha.
gets inoculated,
Once you
it
inoculate, it will return to normal for
okay.
her.
Okay, cool.
Well, we can then I think part of this needs to be a debrief from her about what she saw. She can communicate with us what
Yeah,
she
that's a
read.
really
And
good
I
point.
mean, unless there's some kind of like hand wavy thing where now that she's cured, she can't understand any of
No,
it in hindsight. But yeah,
I think she will, like what I described in that video. She will explain that. She will say, uh, that's whatever that sphere is, that is the sphere. They like, I think it's the same sphere each time. Uh, they it was in the message. They was not in what you saw, but it was in part of it. Uh, that sphere is, it's not a return assault by a people against them. It is another race's Armageddon weapon after the Thulsans destroyed them.
it's not an Armageddon weapon.
Uh, it is, it is,
It's a lesson,
we killed their people.
and they haven't killed yours. You're
But
here talking to me. This is not an Armageddon weapon.
uh,
Wiping out a planet is actually not that hard.
uh, uh,
Your civilization continues to exist because the
I
people
know,
that are doing this want
but
it this
that's not what
way.
I'm saying. I'm saying that that their people are gone.
Yes. And it sounds like you're the first Thulsan in a long time to understand that that's why this is happening.
Commander Chabilik, are you suggesting that the lesson has been learned?
I don't know whether the lesson has been learned, but certainly um, the Thulsan culture, when it develops again, look what it did. It didn't, uh, um, with every respect for your people, um, there's no version of your culture that has grown up and went out into the universe to try and make amends for what they did.
And I think that will certainly put her in thought there. Captain, I thought I heard a call for trying to get inside this thing to
Yeah,
solve it. Do you think that's what you want to do?
that's interesting to me. And also, I'm looking at time and
Yeah,
we got some time. Let's go do that thing. Seems adventurous and also isn't using a doomsday weapon, which seems counter to how we solve problems.
Yeah.
absolutely. Uh, so I think to get through and get transporters working from here, I'm gonna make this kind of a group task. I'm gonna make this let's say a six difficulty clock. So, uh, Moreno, I see you
No, it's just like, oh no, we spent all our determination. This is the perfect time for you to do this to us.
absolutely. Uh, so Moreno, what are you doing to figure out a solution to get through into this thing? Is it disabling shielding on it? Is it empowering the transporters? Is it figuring out a way to block it so you can land a shuttle on it? We're going to start with you on
I
this.
think she's leaning towards landing a shuttle.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. In that case, we'll hang on to you
Yeah.
for your piloting role then is what we'll
Mhm.
save you for. Commander Taven, what are you doing to help? Like, we're going to take the shuttle across. It's the safest way, most secure way. What are you doing to make it possible to do that?
Tiven wants to rig up something to uh, shut down any of these nanites in atmosphere before they potentially get into people's systems. So once we
Okay.
arrive, we can create a bubble around us at least.
Reason plus medicine.
Okay.
Can I
Reason.
assist you?
Yeah, if you want. Yeah.
I'd like to assist. That's a very good idea. I'm
So
rolling a
for
single die.
yes. But it'll be reason plus command.
Hey, that's a thing I actually succeeded at.
That's two successes there, and we've given to then a reroll.
Okay. 2 failures, but I will re-roll one of them.
Okay. Says
One
a
success.
one success. Would you now roll the ship's die?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a 10.
Chivilic, Escarra, and Taven have been working on getting the safety of this thing set. Moreno's getting the shuttlecraft set. What are you doing to help get this set so that you can get over to this place?
Lieutenant Commander Taven, I know that you worked very hard to come up with a inoculation for this virus, but I'm wondering if there is a way that you could tailor a bespoke version of it so that it would only affect the language centers of my brain and not the rest of my senses, so that it might allow me to understand the language the way that it did for the speaker.
Of course, it's a very different technology because this is from a different species. Just
See,
just to make clear, 'cause
so
I want to make sure that's not a piece of confusion because this is not Thulsan tech. This is a different tech.
okay, it seemed like she understood something of like what I'm wondering is if you know what um
I have a
be,
suggestion.
because she speaks whatever. I'm assuming she was speaking whatever language the Thulsans were speaking when they encountered these people and blitzed them
Hmm.
and blew them away. And I'm wondering whether that might be the language that we have to talk to them in, because like if we want to communicate with this thing, whatever, like if there's an AI running it or something like that, if
Okay.
that's what we need to use to speak to it.
Deven, does that work with how you're thinking?
Yeah, but what I was going to suggest is, Commander Chivilic, as far as we have seen, the greatest impact is on the visual senses. You are already out one eye. And she hands you a crocheted blindfold.
And I shrug and said okay, and and like whatever, like I put it on, and it's more like an eye patch, right, than a blindfold. And I
Hmm.
put it on and I do the thing where I like swing it around over my injured eye, so that then later when we do it I can do like the pirate thing and
Swap
switch
it
it to
back.
the eye that is. Yeah,
Let's have
yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
roll control plus command, Chivilic.
Okay. And can I use my linguistics? This is basically about
Yeah, I think
trying
so.
trying to kind of like hack a language that we can talk to this thing in, because we haven't had any success just saying hello in whatever
I
standard
think part of
Federation
what it
dialect. So yeah,
is that these nanites are working on a set of code bases.
yeah,
And so what you're getting is rather than getting the Thulsan language, you're trying to draw out like some of the code base and tech and language from those to give you a basis to work
yeah.
from.
I kind of like the idea that we're pulling apart the programming on the language, the programming on the nanites, and looking for like whatever the little memo files or something, and from that trying to reverse engineer the language and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's kind of cool. That's very techno babbly way to go about that. So I'm doing, what am I doing? Insight plus
I say control plus uh, command.
control plus command. Okay. And I've got linguistics as my
Yep.
focus. I contributed a pile of momentum to the pool, so I'll take one back out. And let me throw three here. Oh, beautiful. That is
Look at
four
that.
successes.
Four successes.
Yeah.
So two plus you can either throw two back in the pool or you can create a trait like safe passage or something like that.
I'm gonna yeah, I'll throw one back in the pool and uh uh I mean like can we put like open channel with the
Sure, but
sphere?
it'll take two momentum to do that.
I'll do that then.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. We now have an open communications channel with the sphere.
So I think that like you
Sorry,
can
which
get
is to say when we get there we can
right,
talk to
right,
it.
right.
Not we don't have to leave the ship to talk to it.
Uh,
I don't want to like I'm not trying to get around that. Yeah.
I assume Escarra, like this is your team on the shuttle.
It sure is.
Okay. And I think we'll see you launch off. You've got the inoculations, you've got you all protected from it. Chivilic has kind of a comms, perhaps is use that to signal an opening of a door. However, this energy is still going on. So I think that the trick is that you need to fly through that, Moreno.
Hmm.
Essentially, you have to thread the needle to get
Hmm.
in there to get this shuttle safe as this weird radiation and energy is pulsing out from it. So that is control plus con.
Okay. I will give you a threat for a die. I mean, you're down at one. You feel it. Seems like you need a
Yeah.
hit.
Helm operations.
Okay, yeah, that
No,
works.
actually, no, shuttlecraft is for shuttlecraft, so you don't have a specialty on
All
that.
right, fine. Evasive action. That works, right?
That works. I'll give you that.
Yeah. I was like, I don't think he'll
15
let me
slash
use.
5.
I was like, I don't think he'll let me use helm operations, but evasive action might work.
I like it.
That's
One,
four
two,
successes.
three, four successes. Uh, and so I'll burn one of mine to burn one of that so you don't get any momentum back.
Fine.
Uh, uh, describe it like you're doing the stunt shuttle flying. I want
Yeah,
to see what we see on screen.
so right, because it's uh modern. All right, so like yeah, it's like we're getting like the over the shoulder shot through like the view screen of the shuttle as like I think maybe Escarra's like the co-pilot seat pointing out like the keeping an eye on like the wavelength scanner to see the sudden bursts of the radiation that it's putting out. So like I'm able to like, dip, dive, duck, and dodge, to like navigate through like a small channel. Like there's a small opening, and is able to navigate it through there like it's a like going through a little cave, but it's just like
Absolutely.
energy surrounding.
And you will find a place to land. This place is weird. It's set up differently than you would expect on the inside. But we'll see you land. You're able to get out to then like you're having to adjust like stuff here to because they're trying to change the nanite to continue the infection on you. Chivilic, you're able to read and direct here, and we see you come through again. I imagine like a little bit like Forbidden Planet. Kind of, we come through giant space area where we painted a big backdrop and we see tiny little figures walking for a while on that until we see you come to like a control room. Chivili, tell me something about this control room. What's the visual for this? What do you think, Chivilic? How do you what do you think we want to have on screen here?
I mean, I have always liked those things where, like, when an alien first makes contact with you, it does the info dump of the data banks. And we see it like racing through the, like on the screens on the shuttle,
Yeah.
it comes up, and it's like it's got, you know, all of humanity's history of awfulness and, invasions of, like other peoples and, the eugenics war and all this kind of stuff
Right.
and everything. And it's just like racing through
Yeah.
all that. But then it kind of slows down as it starts to get to like the Federation actually like helping people and
Okay.
like saving civilizations and, like the Federation as humanity's attempt to make up for all of the awfulness of of previous centuries.
And to then tell me something else like about the visual decoration and look of this command place here.
I think it doesn't appear to be set up for like bipedal humanoid.
Hmm.
So a lot of the like control mechanisms are much lower than we would expect. It doesn't have like desks. It's got flat panels that are built into the floor. Um, but like on every surface, so up the walls and even across the ceiling, there's sort of control panels and things. It is more organic looking than a Federation ship would be.
Absolutely. And I think that, Chivilic is able to translate, is able to kind of be a broadcast. So Escarra, you're realize that there is an AI on this ship that you can communicate with. What is your, what is it you're saying? What is your argument here to convince this thing to stand down, to stop?
Argument that Edwin Escarra offers this AI is the idea of earning forgiveness, of second chances, of lost potential that the Thulsans are have been punished for generations in an unending cycle of punishment, and that it is unethical to continue it further.
Presence plus command. You have negotiation as a focus.
I do. So that's a good thing. And I've already spent my determination. Uh, duh, duh, duh. Okay. I'm gonna just roll my 2D. Here we go. Okay.
Three
Uh,
successes.
3 successes.
I saw that 20 show up just for a second
I
before
did too.
it.
I do not like these giant dice
There
like
is something
interacting
to
with
be
each other in
said,
physics
yeah,
that they make me upset. They
for the dice,
give me.
the rolling simulation, yeah.
And I think that like there is a bit with the AI, like it registering, it has been kind of in stasis, hearing the signal popping out, doing this multiple times, and the AI kind of realizing how many times this has happened and how long it has been. And it will input accepted. And I think we'll see those screens go dark and we'll see the consoles go dark. And I think outside we'll see the corona of energy around the sphere flicker and diminish. And we can see the weather pattern on the planet down below. And this sphere is just floating there.
Nice.
Let's go to end of episode scenes. Who would like to start with our end of episode scene? Anybody have a thought about what you'd like to call for that?
I have an idea for a scene with Javilic.
Okay. Let's do that Tiven Chivilik scene.
So in medbay, Tavan would be inspecting the wound and preparing for surgery for Javilic. Say, before we put a new eye in, we need to ensure that there is no foreign material left. So I would like to pack the wound for a few days with an antibacterial. Does that sound acceptable?
You're the doctor. You don't tell me how to hail a ship. I'm not going to tell you how to pack a wound, Taven.
And Tavan will go and retrieve, at the beginning of the episode, she sprayed a loaf of bread with some water and come back with a clearly moldy piece of bread and say, are you familiar with the name Alexander Fleming?
Um, I mean, you're probably not referring to the guy who sold counterfeit dilithium to the Klingons.
For many centuries before First Contact, it was common practice on Earth to pack wounds with moldy bread. There wasn't
Ha!
a, there wasn't a lot of rigorous scientific study, but it did appear to work until about a century before First Contact. An Earth doctor by the name of Alexander Fleming discovered that the mold had antibacterial properties.
Every Andorian knows that you use lichen for that sort of thing.
The point is, Commander, that humans discovered something worked but lacked the scientific foundation to understand why. Anecdotal evidence should not always be readily discarded.
Oh, now I know where this is going.
I'm happy to end the scene there if you want.
Yes, I like that.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Perfect. Moreno, you good
Sh
going next?
sure. How about a scene with Ed?
Okay. Where do you want this scene taking place?
I probably just like it's just shooting the breeze in his office. You were in a sword fight.
I was in a sword fight.
You.
I listen. Alex's leg was broken. He couldn't do it, so I had to.
Now you see why you've got to keep up with your physicals, right? For situations like this.
Yes. Point taken, Tony.
Especially if you want to be leading these away missions more often. Which I should point out is my job.
Listen, I agree it is your job most of the time. But I also think you got an opportunity in a high pressure situation as captain of the Tempest, and you thrived.
I don't know about thrived.
I don't know about the
I
moment to
did.
moment. All I know is you went up against a sphere that has destroyed a civilization for millennia and overcame it. Seems like thriving to me.
It's because we have a good team.
Exactly.
And our team is only as good as our coach.
So, have you heard that the World's Series is coming up?
I don't. Yeah, the dance competition.
No, no, no. The Baseball World's Series.
I, that that I thought that I
There's
thought that
just a
game
handful
died.
of Federation worlds that are interested, but they've set up a World's Series, and
Since
we
when?
have a furlough coming up that just happens to be a hop, skip, and a jump away from game one.
Are you gonna make us all learn how to play baseball?
No, I'm gonna make you learn how to watch it.
That's so much worse. Madre de Dios.
Okay, I like that as the tag there for that scene. Chivilic.
So what exactly did we establish? Because it was like a month ago that this that this Andorian ritual involves. It's like
I
it's we
I
got to shut
thought
down my antenna or something like
yeah, I
that.
think
Is
it
that
was
how
a
that works?
sensory deprivation
Yeah,
thing. There was a
yeah,
That
substance
sounds
that you
right.
had to
yeah,
go through.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Um. Uh.
And you've got a crochet blindfold for it.
Yeah. Yeah. And um. So I think that it's. I mean, I think what I kind of got to do here is like we just, like we cut away from that scene and it's just dark. Um and uh I say to Ven, I'm not really experiencing anything particularly transcendent right now.
I think that is okay. It is perhaps enough to have tried.
Um Actually, I I mean, I don't know how much you I mean, how much have you looked into this ritual?
Out of character, I think a fair bit.
Well, sure. So what do you say to me when I ask that question?
I have read multiple accounts.
So you know that normally we go through this when we're much younger, right? So the way that this should work is that like I should have had this happen when I was in adolescence and uh I would be isolated, but one of my relatives, probably my mom, would have been there. Um and she would have told me a story about her childhood because that's how this is supposed to work. So, I mean, it seems like she's not here. You are. So, I,
How are you situated? Are you standing? Are you sitting? Are you?
um, I think I can't imagine that, like, I can't imagine that Taven would not want me to do this, like, in a diagnostic bed, being monitored while it's happening, all this kind of stuff and everything. And, um, like, because we're not going to make an ice cave on the hollow deck to, wear and strip me naked and throw me in there so that I nearly freeze to death, which is, how the ancient Andorians used to do it. But, no, like whatever. It's sick bay. I've got my antennas presumably have been, they would normally be numbed by cold, but maybe you just gave me a hypo spray instead or something that whatever blocks the nerve connections or something like that. And so it's and I think my voice Chivilic is normally like he's the communications officer, right? So he's very effusive and he's, but his voice is much quieter and he kind of sounds like a little kid when he's talking to you about this.
Mhm. So
Tiven, are
I
you
think,
going to tell a story?
yeah, I think Taven will hop up on the bed next to Chivilic and sit cross-legged and close her eyes and start telling a story. She just
Okay.
says, "I grew up on the agricultural world of Zephyros."
I think the camera kind of pulls away as you're starting the story there. Escarra, you get final scene for this episode.
Final scene of the episode is the command staff and first it's like the command staff all sitting on bleachers. We hear the sounds of a baseball game. Then the camera pulls back and we see that entire section is Tempest. Anyone and everyone are all there wearing various colors, some in the colors of their uniforms, others in the colors of the two different teams that are playing each other. And Edwin's pulling for the Venusians.
Absolutely. As is only right and proper there. What is the logo of the Venusian team?
Oh man. What are they? The Green Sox? I think, yeah, just simple green socks. I
Yeah,
like that.
okay. Real classic. They've gone back to that team. And I think we will kind of see that as we pull away. And that is our last shot of the episode. Uh uh and we're gonna go to Stars and Wishes. We'll do same order. Mike.
This is an absolute blast. I loved Escarra down on the planet, kind of getting Johnson to keep an eye on the sequent, and then helping out Chivilic multiple times in getting us through, and also just checking in with Chivilic and saying like, "Hey, I know I'm leaning on you right now, but you need to take a rest." That was great. And then the final decision to like talk down the AI, to not blow it up, and to go over and have a chat with it and see where we're at. I really enjoyed that. For Moreno, it was great to see Moreno in the chair and to see them dealing with a bit of self-doubt, but ultimately success. And then to call out that it was, hey, it's because we have a good crew at the end there. Doing their best to keep morale high, maybe not successfully, but still doing their best. And we did manage to pull through. So that's a testament to Moreno's leadership. I love the little interaction of the, are you going to make us learn baseball? No, I'm going to make you learn to watch it. For the two of you, that was just such a beautiful moment. For Chivilic, coming straight in away with the Bobby Drake ice slide, that was cool. The
Mhm.
line, I hate tokens, was fantastic. Connecting the symbols on the door to the tattoos was something that I really enjoyed. And then the it's not an Armageddon device, it's a lesson. And destroying a planet is not that hard. That was a beautiful thing. And then I really enjoyed the scene at the end with Chivilic deciding to go through the ritual. And lol, the Thulsan history lesson slideshow in hologram form, that was great. It was so evocative. And just the overall arc of this story was a really good one. It was interesting. I definitely, after the last session that we had, was coming into this with like, I've had weeks to think about this and I still don't know what we're gonna do. In terms of
Awesome.
wishes, I kind of wish that down on the surface, Chivilic had a chance to get into the combat because he's a hand-to-hand expert and he
Mhm.
carries a cool weapon, but we sort of missed that to give Escarra a cool moment. But that was cool.
Yeah, I split that up because she felt like it had a cool linguistics moment just before that, so I felt we were good at that. Awesome. Jolene.
Yeah, there was just like so much good Trek in this episode. Like, the like Escarra talking to the AI is very quirky. It's like, the linguistics, the teaching of the moral lesson of the episode. And lol, you really had me worried when you said this is not a place of honor. I'm like, oh shit, this is a nuclear waste disposal plant. Oh no. But like I guess it kind of is for their culture.
Hmm.
And I'm like, okay, that's a pretty good twist. Yeah, I just, every like the calling back the cultural the ritual with Chivilic is like, God damn you. And there's just, yeah, this was a blast. This whole series has been a blast.
Awesome. Jim.
I wrote down Chekhov's loaf of bread here, which is fantastic. that was great. That was just the whole, and that's like such a like you know such a Vulcan way to go about that. The like 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 you can't just like relate a metaphor, right? You have to, actually, create and display and embody the metaphor to just to make sure everybody, that it's right on the nose and stuff like that. Um, uh, um, Jolene, you did a thing that they sometimes do in Star Trek, which is that like there are universal translators that are supposed to make it so that everybody is always speaking the same language all the time and you hear it that way. But sometimes, but when you say Madre de Dios, like for emphasis, somehow like that comes out as Spanish and not like, universally translated, which is fantastic because I kind of like to think that like the AI recognizes it's an oath and so doesn't translate it the way that it does just regular speech and stuff like that. But that's just a great little moment at the end when you and and yes, actually playing baseball much more fun than watching it. So definitely true. But yeah, that was and I love the Rich. I love the green socks from
Hmm.
Venus. That was fantastic. That was
Thank you.
a great little bit there. Um, uh, yeah, and Lowell, I loved the that you clearly did not have a solution to this problem in mind. When you create problems, not solutions. I
Right.
felt 100% that that it seemed like there was a moment when like we kind of started coming up with that, and you're like, oh,
Okay.
okay, sure, yeah, that'll work. And it's always felt, and which is one of the things that makes like kind of plotting a Star Trek game really hard is that you got to lay stuff out there, and this is a little bit of a higher prep system. So you got to kind of be ready for stuff to happen and things like that. And I'm sure that you have some stuff in your notes and whatever. But I have never felt in any of these that you were like steering us towards a particular solution to any problem or anything like that. There's kind of natural guardrails that are created
Hmm.
by defining the problem in the first place. But then within that, I've always felt like we had like total freedom to kind of come
Oh,
up with
that's very
whatever
nice of you to
solution made
say.
sense. Yeah, yeah, and it's a really hard thing to do in a Star Trek game, and you've done a fantastic job of it. So yeah,
It is
I've had a
higher prep
fantastic
of
time.
stuff than I usually do because I have about 4 pages of an outline.
Yeah.
So
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah.
um uh Rich.
I actually wrote down stars, but then I go last, so all of them were taken. I, I will say stars to you, Lowell. Similar to Mike's, I had a long time to think about this, and if you remember my feedback from last session, I was not so sure about this one, and you really stuck the landing. This was a really interesting plot. It was. Uh, uh, I'm not glad that we had a long time between, but I am glad that this paid off so well. It was a super interesting plot. It felt very Star Trek. I loved the temptation of, oh, well, they've got this doomsday weapon, and like 9 out of 10 RPGs, that sphere would be dust. But we are playing Star Trek, where we try to come up with a better thing. Star to Jolene for suggesting, let's go over to the sphere because that's the most Star Trek thing to do. Oh, doomsday thing that kills civilization. Let's go check it out. Really appreciated that suggestion because it just didn't like I not used to thinking in Star Trek mode, so that was very like, oh, yes, that's a thing we should do. Um, I enjoyed managing the clock, like looking and saying, "Well, this feels like the end of the episode, but not really, and we have an hour, so let's go do this thing." And that was amusing to me. Jim loved the setup and payoff. So both Mike and Jim, that scene at the end, that was a really nice, touching moment. It's the kind of thing that in a Star Trek series you're like, oh man, I love the friendship between these two. I don't know if they define it as friendship, but that sense of community support. And Mike, the payoff of the bread. I remembered it. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that bread. That's great. Really strong episode. Had a good time.
Good, good. Thank you very much, everyone, on this. Uh, I have gone back to these uh, shows again. So if Rich wants to do something for the latter, like I do a quarterly next year, what I usually do is I will come to everybody. We'll figure out a time. I'll come to everybody and see and give you right of first refusal and on that. So we will see. Probably won't be to second or third quarter next year, but just to say that I would like to come back to this crew, do a quarterly, see these characters again. So I'll put that out there. I am going to stop the recording.